I see that one at practice. Great, that's great.
It never bothered.
All right. Call this meeting of the City Common Council to order. Let all the record reflect that all members are present with the exception of Mayor Vollenweider, who's excused as he's out of town visiting his son. Let's stand and say the pledge. And Rich Taylor. Sorry. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, prayer and meditation. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, be seated. Agenda item 3, approval of the March 20th Common Council minutes. Wendy.
I just have one correction, 8J. The vote was 5-2 instead of 6-1.
Okay, 8J, the vote was 5-2 instead of 6-1.
Correct.
Any other corrections or additions? All right,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes with the correction.
all right, we have a motion to approve the minutes with the correction. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4, public comment communications, 3 minutes per person, please. Is there anybody who would like to address the council in public comment? Anybody that would like to address the council in public comment? Anyone who would like to address the council with public comment? No one stepping forward, so public comment is now closed. Boards, commissions, committee and staff reports. Any corrections or additions or discussions? All right. Number 6, mayor's report. I have nothing to report on behalf of Jeff. Heath.
Yeah, the reorganization meeting will be next Tuesday. Under requirements of Wisconsin statutes. The mayor has proposed a time of 6 p.m. Should take us about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Right.
Reorganization meeting April 18th at 6 p.m. All right, unfinished business. Heath, do we have anything under that? All right, moving on to new business. Authorize certain officials to sign addendum 17 agreement for professional services with Cedar Corporation. Wendy.
This item has not gone through the finance committee. I feel strongly that anything having to do with spending money should go through the finance committee before coming to council. I think that people here feel that our committee structure is working well and items should go through the proper committees before coming to council. So I make a motion to move item 8A to the finance committee, which will meet on May 2nd. We would welcome Cedar Corp presentation at the meeting and we will work towards making a recommendation to the May 8th council meeting.
So we have a motion on the table. Is there a second? Eric.
I'll second it.
Eric seconded. Any more discussion? Okay, all right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll send this back to the finance committee for May 2nd, 6 p.m. 5. Sorry. All right, moving on to item B. Approve a tiered pay scale for the part-time officers, patrol officers. Would you like to address this, Robin?
Everybody, I think, has the packets that go out.
Yep.
So I guess I would,
Did you email that to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
because the green light is there. You probably have us.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I would entertain any questions that anybody might have regarding to what I did send out as far as the pay scale goes and where we're at with part-time and the ability to get part-time help. As far as students that are straight out of an academy or officers that are experienced. And we have a dire need right now with the city police department to get some part-time help, and we have county officers who are interested. And we just want that wage scale to appropriately match.
Robin,
I would like to entertain, I would like to make a motion to approve the new tiered pay scales.
okay,
I just got one question, Robin. I know I think at the finance committee, I think I even mentioned about, different shift schedules. Do you think there's any way a different shift schedule would help with the overtime?
At this point,
I know
where
it would
we are at
probably,
with
you'd probably
staffing,
have to open up the contract for that, I'm assuming, right?
I don't think it would be possible for the next 2 months at a minimum, just because of where we're at with staffing and people out at different times. For the next 2 months, and we're potentially losing an officer at the end of the month, so that's not a for sure thing. But probably, 95% sure that we're going to. And then I will be posting for a full-time officer at that time. We still need to get through that process. You need to post it. Needs to be available for people to apply for a couple of weeks. And then we need to get through a testing procedure. And with the testing procedure, I also need officers to be able to help me with that. And then once we make a decision and bring someone on, then we have to consider the training period that those officers have to go through.
Do you think they would be open to, either some information about different shift schedules? Would
There
that be
are
something they
officers
would
who have looked at some of them. I know the fitness schedule was brought up. And we have talked about 12-hour shifts previously. Some officers are for it, some are absolutely against it. So I think it would just be something that would have to go to the union and they'd have to agree upon. I don't think it's something they're interested in entertaining right now.
So it wouldn't do me too much good to keep going in the direction I'm going. That's what you're saying.
With where we're at with how many staff we have.
Yeah.
I don't know what schedule we could potentially do.
Okay.
I mean, this week at one point, we'll be down to just 2 of us
Sure.
out of the 6. And if one of those officers is sick or can't make it in, or this evening, we almost had a transport for a medical clearance, that would have left myself and one other officer for this evening. We don't have the staff right now with people out for
Sure.
different medical needs.
Well, I may call you sometime.
Okay, I'm willing to entertain it.
Okay, great, thank you, yep. As long as you're willing to take a look at it is all I'm asking, so, okay, great, thank you.
any other questions? Okay, we have a motion on the floor. All those in favor? Opposed? All right, motion carries. All right. Moving on to C, authorize certain officials, nope, D, right? Nope. C,
See, authorize certain officials to sign them.
and of the memorandum of understanding with the Kewaunee Professional Police Association regarding employment of part-time officers. Chief Miller, would you like to?
So the agreement that the city attorney had done up was between the city of Kewaunee and the part-time police employee, which there's a little bit of back and forth on that. And Heath, maybe you can give some input on that. Where the union representative, Tom Schrank, didn't agree with the language of part-time because it's not necessarily noted in our contract. And so we were going to, the remedy was to consider them as temporary employees under the temporary section, where we would then need to give a time frame for their employment. So with the union contract expiring December 31st of 2025, we chose that for the date. Tom was okay with that for a date. And then we will consider part-time to be temporary employees, so that it's not in contradiction with the union contract. And Tom Schrank was okay with that. So we still have the two. There's the one agreement that'll be the city of Kewaunee with the part-time employee for what their wage scale is going to be based on their experience. And then the agreement with the city and the union representation. Have you heard anything different from Tom on that?
I haven't heard anything different. Just as a matter of course, the collective bargaining agreement with the union doesn't list anything about part-time. A regular employee is somebody who's been there 30 days. So theoretically, that would include the secretary works there 10 hours a week. It's a little vague. I suspect it's because nobody's bothered to actually look at the language of that front part of the contract and probably forever. So it's something we're gonna have to adjust for the next round of the negotiation process when we have to change, update the contract for the next set. So that's one thing we've added to the tickler list. For
If that
changes.
becomes an issue, if that next contract isn't done for January 1 of 2026, then we have the right to extend or renew essentially that contract with those employees for another period of time. They
Yes,
wish to
one quick
continue.
question. The full-time employees, we consider 32 hours full-time, right?
Well, 37 and a half.
37 and a half a week, okay.
I would make a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding with the Kewaunee Professional Police Association regarding part-time police officers and to authorize the mayor to sign the agreement on behalf of the city.
We have a motion with a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. So we're on to D, authorize implementation of a memorandum of understanding with part-time officers regarding compensation.
Yeah, this is one that actually we were working on before we had to step back and do the one with the union. This is a thing, this is a feature that's meant to provide a little bit of assurance to part-time officers who work for somebody else full-time. It's sort of an impetus that's provided by, in our case, the county sheriff's department, which has said that has told their officers they can work for other departments or other agencies part-time. Just that if they get involved in some kind of police activity that results in them going out of being required to be put on administrative leave, the county won't pay for it. So this is meant to provide sort of a backup security option for them financially in case they, for whatever reason, when they're working for us, they end up in a situation where they have to fire a weapon. So this is meant to be sort of a backstop for them. So what we're requesting in this case is to authorize us to be able to use this. Basically, it's a template for use with part-time police patrol officers that we would employ who also work for somebody else full-time in the same capacity. That's all we're after.
Jim,
I'd like to make a motion to approve the authorized implementation of a memorandum of understanding with part-time patrol officers regarding compensation.
I'll second that.
we have a motion with a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we're going on to E. Approve amendment to personnel policy manual regarding computer network security.
Yeah, the personnel committee recommended this change to address the need to basically require all employees with computer access, network access to change their passwords. To at least requested to change on at least an annual basis. That's kind of standard in most places regarding computer networks. I'll turn it over to Jim for any clarification.
Yeah, we talked about it in the personnel meeting. I did talk with the person at the county about how the security is set up and how it's managed, the different security that's set up with the police file server system versus what's at the city, and everything was really good. The only thing that we recommended was the fact that a lot of employees tend to use the default that's set up, the default password, and don't change it. So what he can do is actually force the person to log in and then reset a brand new password once a year. As well as when a new employee starts, having them change the password at that time when the first time they log in. That way they're not using the default password that lots of people tend to know. So we felt that it was appropriate from a security standpoint that on an annual basis, passwords are changed to protect not only the employee, but the city as well.
All right. Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve an amendment to the personnel policy manual, creating a new section 5.2.d regarding computer network and email passwords as listed above.
I'll second it. Okay. We have a motion with a second. Any other discussion?
One point, I know one of the things that came up too was about backing up of the data. So they are backing up our data on a daily basis as well. So I want to make sure, I know there were some discussions and some people talked about it, but I want to let them know that the county is backing up our information on a daily basis. We don't need to worry about that.
Okay, good. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carried. I don't know why that came out that way. All right, 8F, approve temporary Class B picnic license for Kewaunee Alumni Fest held on April 29th and Lakeshore Area Vintage Snowmobile Association, July 8th.
Background checks were done by the police department, so on the officers listed as the best that she could do.
Okay,
So everything was satisfactory.
all right,
A motion?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve those temporary class B picnic licenses.
Second.
we have a motion with a second. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. G, financial reports, month ending March of 2023.
I'll make a motion to approve the reports as presented with the understanding that the financials are not complete due to the 2020 audit not being finished yet.
I'll second. Okay,
I have just a comment to make.
okay,
So I have been working with the auditors. I'm having to been working on doing a transition of the old general ledger numbers to the new software's general ledger numbers. And so I got that spreadsheet all completed, sent it over to Workforce because I have some gaps. And I'm having them look over because, the water and the sewer, where we base the accounts off of what the Wisconsin Public Service Commission wanted. So there's a lot of them that we don't have anymore. So I have them looking it over to see where we're gonna fit those numbers in. And I'm hoping by either tomorrow or Wednesday at the latest that she'll have something to come back, and then we'll be able to upload that information into the new software and I can start working on reconciling. So that's where we're at.
awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Right. On to announcements. Jim,
There's a historical preservation commission meeting on Wednesday, so we have 3 different projects that are under review. So at 5:30, we'll be having a meeting there at City Hall on Wednesday.
30 at City Hall. Any other announcements?
There's a meeting on Thursday at 5 o'clock at the library for the Friends of the Kewaunee Pierhead Lighthouse, the nonprofit. They've been getting a lot more active and a little healthier, and then we will have a committee meeting for the lighthouse for the city. That'll be on Thursday, the 27th of April. Down at the History Center at 4 o'clock.
Kathy, when is the fish fry for the ambulance? Do you remember the date on that? Is it April
28th.
28th, okay.
So I can't-
April 28th is the fish fry, so
Put me on this.
I'm sorry.
I was just there.
All right, any other announcements? All right,
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
One second.
all right.
Record.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
This might be a
All
record.
right, meeting's adjourned.
Maybe you should even have.
I think this went really well.
Wow.
It's
Like. Oh, fantastic. I still have time for a cocktail.
It was an easy agenda. So.
Holy